Welcome back to the main series of War and Order. It's a new month. How much did we gather last month? I don't know. Well, I do know. So yeah, it took me a little longer to get this video ready, but in June we gathered a lot of resources. I just did the guide series and did the comparison. But we gathered quite a bit of resources, quite a bit. So we're gonna go right into our list of resources gathered. We're gonna do our little talk about what we gathered in the month of June. Yeah, because this is July. Yeah, so in June. Um, we have two things I want to talk to you about the gather. Two is the 9th and the 23rd were our gather reports. You know, the days that we did the gathering because of the mission for gather. So those 2 days are the days. We got the 9th and then the 23rd. But besides that, I was gathering all the time. Not every single day, but a lot of times I was gathering. And so the one thing I want to talk to you about is when you're gathering in percentages, which this account gathered, didn't matter where it was in percentages in this time around. This coming up month in July, I'm gonna try to just gather in no one's percentage. Now, why I want to do that is if you're gathering, so say this level 5 mine here. This level 5, you can see I got 44,100. If I went for a level 4, I could have gotten 48,000 and no percent loss. But because I was in a percentage of, I'm betting this guy here is a 26er. Yeah, it's a 26er. So if I went in here, so there's a level 5. But if I found a level 5 in here, okay. So here's a level 5, right? I don't want to gather it, but I just want to. So his percentage is 26.50. That's the percentage that he's getting. So if I go back to that gather report on the on that day, he's getting a lot of resources back. If I go back into the gather reports here, that is way at the bottom now. I just want to show you this very quickly. It's a pretty interesting thing. So he is getting looks like 115 or 15,900, right? So that's how much he's getting out of that total amount. So he's getting quite a bit of resources. So if I went for a level 4 at 48,000, because I know it's 48,000 because if you look at the other ones, it's 48,000, you'll be getting the full amount. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to be, and it might actually help with the mission too for, gather because you're getting the full amount, and then I might not have to send it out one more time. When I did do them this time, all the percentages were pretty high, 26%, and his alliance has a lot of level 5, so like that's why I know his percentage is very high. The VIP is pretty high. But yeah, I mean you can see that I could have gotten 48,000 for a level 4 compared to level 5, which in his percentage is 44,100. Again, something to think about, as you're doing gathering. So you can see here on the 8th, I went for full percentages, and I got, looks like 12, 12, and 12, so that's 20, or how much, that was on the 8th, right? So on the 8th, we gathered 60,000 stone. So, a 36, which is a level 3, and a level 2, equal to 60,000. So that would have been, a good gather right there. And then the iron, when we had 3 here, it was 36,000. So again, if I was not in the percentage, you get the full amount, and it's a lot better point value. Alright, so here comes the 9th. So again, on this day, on the 9th, which was our gather report, on the 9th, we gathered right here in this stone section here, which I don't know if there's any more above, was 125,250. Okay? Then we gathered the stone. Again, look at the percentages. 44, 44, 44, 49. So this 49 might have been okay, because you can get, that's more points than 48. 41,000. So on this part here, in this section right here that we gathered without looking above, was 290,000. So again, just so you know, that's why I'm saying that. This wood here, again, in percentages, Not that great. We got 1,267,500. So again, and then on this wood here, on this food here, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 1,626,000 because we have another 120 here. So if I took that 120 out, right, that would have been million something. So yeah, I mean, it does work out to be better if it's in no one's percentage. The only reason I did this is this is the main, my main series here on YouTube, and I want to make sure I got the full amount of points. So I gathered in this last group that amount. So 100. So it would have been 1,000,000 because it was 1,620,000 with this other mine. So if I take that down, it would have been 1,500,000. So that's how much I could have gathered with the least of food was 1,500,000. So just yeah, and actually in the second grouping, I actually did gather that amount. So you'll see that in a minute here when I do that when we get to the 23rd. But again, just something to make be aware of, if as you're gathering that like see here it is 44 for 100, 44 900, that would have been fine. Stone again. The stone or iron, I don't know how much off it would be, but just be aware, like when you're gathering in someone's percentage, you're not getting the full amount. If you want the full amount, you really need to gather no one's percentage, which I tried to do, but it's hard when you're trying to gather all stone and all iron and searching for a level 4. It might take a little time. So here we did some on the 17th, 18th, more research is gathering. 19th, we did some on the 20th. So like I said, I did a lot of gathering in this past month. So here is the second gather, which is on the 23rd. Again, the iron. Here's the iron. Oh, excuse me. The iron section here was 113,100. Okay? Here's the stone. In this stone section here, we gathered 231,600. That's just here. You can see this one here, those two were not the full percentage, or none of them were, but that was lower than a level 4. So that's what I'm saying. If you get a level 4, it might be a little closer too. I don't know. But just knowing that. So the 5 of these, 1,500,000. The wood. Oh, another 5, 1,500,000. So again, yes, if you can find the level 5, all level 5s, you can get a good amount of points. I mean, that's 1,500,000 of both of those resources. That was most of my resources in gathering of food and wood for the month. Because when I go through, what I've gathered, you'll see that it was mainly those 2 days. I mean, on the 5th and the 6th, I did gather a little bit here and there. If I go back to the 5th and 6th, you can actually see that. The 5th and the 6th were in the beginning of the month. So this is the first 2 days. So there's that bit right there. And here's those two right there. So again, I didn't gather that much food and wood because I really don't need it. And that's why I'm not gathering it. It's because I don't really need it. Again, for the gather, it's easier to go for those because you can easily find them a lot more. And that's why I usually go for them because they're a little bit, I usually do this, the iron and then stone and then food and wood. The food and wood you can easily find level 5s easier than the other ones, but, And also, you gotta remember, we did get attacked at a mine during the last gather report. So we lost some units because of that, because of the units that were actually there. Because we technically attacked them. So on the 24th, we did some more gathering of some stone and iron. 25th, we did some more, because we had the 5th March enabled, we were able to gather more. The 26th, we did some more. And then on the last day, on the 30th, we did a little bit more. We did 2 and 2. So that's what we gathered on those 2 days there. So overall, last month in June, June, we gathered 3,606,000 of food. Wood was 3,241,500. Get this. Stone, 2,069,400. Wow, that's a lot of stone. That's a lot of stone. In a minute, we'll talk about why that's a lot of stone. And then iron, we did about 702,000. So, 702,000. Not bad at all. And we will delete those messages in a little bit here. But I just want to let you know, overall, compared to last month with the food was 3,200,000. This month, 3,600,000. Doubled it. Okay? Wood, 3,270,000 last month. This month's 3,241,000. Very, very close to being over, but we just need another. It looks like 20,000. We could have had that. Last month in stone was 1,746,000. This month, 2,000,000. Last month in the iron section, 457,650. This month, 702. So overall, compared to, so with the food, looks like the food is actually, compared to last month, was better, but not overall at all. The same with the wood, better, less than last month, lowest amount on the whole entire thing. So we didn't make that much. But in the stone, last month again was 1,742,000. Well, right now, this last month was the most stone that we gathered all year long. Okay, that's great. The next closest was on the 4th, which I believe is April, when we had 2,066,400. This month again was 2,069,400. So it was exactly 2,000 over. So we gathered 2,000 more than April in that April month, which is the 4th month. So just overall, like, that is just nuts to think we gathered more stone than we've ever done this year alone. And then the iron, again, it's number one. And there's not even one close to it. I mean, the closest one is like 5,042,100, and that was on the second month, which is February. And that's a short month. So overall, we did really great on gathering this past month. You know, the food and wood is, like I said, I'm not really gathering it for it. I mean, I really don't need it, so that's why I'm not really gathering it. Because if you look in here, I don't really need it. So it's why gather it? You know what I mean? If I need it, then I would. Because if you look at how much I have 10,000 over food, and the wood I have a lot more. And I have over 2,000,000 in reserves of those materials. And that's the same. There's reserves. I have 28,000,000 of stone. I only need 1,000,000 left of the iron, which I have 16,000,000. So, like I said, if I can do another great month of getting the iron, when I upgrade the buildings, which I did talk about in the last series, last video I did, is my plan is, I have a few more buildings left in this account. I have two more, looks like two more of the train ground, and then these outside buildings. My goal is so this month, we have two, mission weeks, which one of them is going to be in the 6th, which is next week, and the next one after that would be the 20th, okay, of July. In August, I'd like to do it because the week of the 20th is the mission week. The week of the 3rd, which would be the first official week in August, because then the month is going to be the 1st, which is a Friday. If on the 3rd of August, if all the resources are gathered for the smaller accounts, which is 39, 49, and 16, and also the smaller account that we have over here, we'll be able to upgrade all the castles, then we'll do it. If I can't, we're gonna have to wait until all the accounts get it. But what I can also do, the higher accounts can actually reinforce resources to that smaller accounts to get the resources up there. They need a lot of resources. So my goal is in this next month in July, and in this month that we have going on in July, I have a whole month to gather as much stone, as much iron as I need, and if I need to reinforce it, I will reinforce it. They need about 10 million of I think each material. I think the smaller account, I think 16 has it. It's mainly these two accounts that don't have it. Um, 49 and 39. That's my goal. Right now, it's just to get all the materials I need to upgrade those buildings to be able to get those buildings done. Um, so that is my goal right now is to get as much resources for those accounts. Obviously, getting resources for this account is also my main concern, so we don't have to use any reserves. But if we need the reserves, we have them in place. That's just something I want to let you know. My goal right now is next month, upgrade all castles. Then I'll have more buildings to upgrade because right now, we're sitting on only maybe another 2 upgrades. That's it. Then we'll be, at a standstill, like I was saying in another video. We'll have nothing to upgrade. But that doesn't mean that we can't do it. We just might have to do a twice, because we'll be able to still get in here. We'll still be able to get our speed ups for upgrading buildings and stuff like that. And we'll still have, we still have, 61 days and a day and a half of speed ups. So like I said, we can still, do other missions and just not upgrade buildings. I mean, I'd like to continue upgrading buildings, but if I don't have a building to upgrade, how can we upgrade buildings, It's one of those things, that's why I don't upgrade all the buildings at once, I just do them during the mission, because then I have a building to be upgraded during that mission state that we can then get done. So it's just a planning thing, that's all it is. I just want to let you guys know that, hey, that's what I'm thinking. Obviously, and we have a fail report here. This is when we had that attack on that gathering event, when we lost 5,181 units because of the attack that we had, and they just ruined some. But yeah, they killed a good amount of our units actually. So only our horses, only the horses, but it's sad to see that we lost some units. But what are you gonna do? That happened this past week when we did gather, and I was hoping that we wouldn't lose units, but we did. But that's okay because we can always get those back, and that. So we have 921,419 of units here in our castle here that we have. My main thing is right now, as you can see here, we have so up here you can see it says we have 922.14, right? If I go to my training grounds, it says we don't have that. It says we have about 5,000 less. So I don't know what happened. I was talking about this in other video as well. Like if I'm promoting video, people up, it seems like I'm losing units. I don't know why it's saying that. Because right now we have 9,015,419. I don't know why it says that. Because if I go to and I have no units out right now. They're all in the base, right? So if I go to my 9,015,419. That's how much we have, and I've already done the march sizes and all that, so we're good with that. But it's really weird, like in the other screen, how it says we have more, which we don't. I don't know where it's getting those units from, because in here you can see all the units. They're in the base. So my total army is what we have total. There's no wounded, so it's not like it's in the wounded section. I don't know where those units are at all. It's missing. So, but yeah, that amount. When I go to there, it says that amount. Yeah, so that is pretty much what I wanted to do today. So we got that. I'm gonna leave that there. These messages of gather are going bye-bye. I just don't need them anymore. And then I can start gathering again. Once I do the videos, I can start gathering. I've already deleted all mails from all the other accounts. They've already been deleted. I just haven't started gathering again. Once I start gathering, which I'm gonna start doing after I do this video, um, I'll start gathering and getting all the materials that I need to start either upgrading the buildings. I need to upgrade reinforcing whatever I need, and I'm gonna try to do full percentages so I don't lose anything, so I get the full amount. But I might still do. I don't know. We'll have to see. It all depends on what I want to do with these accounts. Do I want to, send them out and just gather, or what I want to do? But hopefully that gives you a sense of what's been going on here since the last mission status. It kind of shows you, like you said, 48,000 is a level 4 compared to losing 15,000, or that amount that we're losing from the percentage. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we can always go to our elite mines that we have in our alliance. We won't lose anything, but if there's other people gathering there, it counts off the counts a little bit off. I just don't know. But that is for a later mat. And I just deleted those. And obviously, we have all these that we can delete because they're all pretty much the same 27s. So we can also go ahead and just delete those mail. We already have the accounts ready to go, so we can always do it more attacking. They also have it's a new day, so they just that is my goal with that at least going on. It's a new day, so that's why it reset. This should reset too. I'll have to rebuy the monthly card as well. But that's what I wanted to do in today's episode. I hopefully you enjoyed this kind of long video actually. But yeah, there's gonna be more videos coming up here on the channel soon as well. Just stay tuned. We might even be doing a stream later on this week as well. Maybe even tonight. We'll see if I can get these videos edited and get everything else done that I need to get done. Yeah, we might stream. So until the next video here on my channel, I'm gonna have to say what I normally say in my videos, and that is bye bye for